What do you think of that? Does that remind you of Cape Breton?
Well, you know what? As they would say down in Cape Breton, you could almost walk across that tea.
That was a lot of fun. Welcome to another edition of Spillin the Tea. Today I'm going to be speaking with Isaac McKechnie, who is a member of the Parish leadership team and also helping us out with our community care team, in particular our care and compassion team. So I look forward to you hearing a delightful conversation that I just had with Isaac. Before we get into my conversation with Isaac, I want to apologize. You know, these little Spillin the Tea videos are all a pretty amateur little production. It's me with my son's camera, my laptop, which I'm using right now, and this microphone. I've never done this stuff before I came into the parish. I'm just learning as I go. And so this microphone is omnidirectional, but I had no idea until this interview with Isaac that it can be set for unidirectional or bidirectional, and I have it set in the wrong setting, so I'm significantly louder than Isaac because the unidirectional part of it was facing me, not Isaac. So I'm really sorry for this oversight. I think you can still hear him fine. He's just significantly lower than me. That's the reason. Yet another lesson learned for me. All right. Thank you for your patience. It's an honor for me to be here with Isaac McKechnie today. Isaac is a retired school teacher, a member of the parish leadership team. And Isaac, you've been in the parish for over 40 years.
I have, Father, and it's been a joy.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be with you here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're here. Isaac so every member of the parish leadership team has some responsibilities, and one of Isaac's responsibilities is to be the lead for the care and compassion team, leading the community piece for now until we get dear Bradley on staff in April. So Isaac, tell us about the care and compassion ministry.
Okay, and the care and compassion ministry at Stella Maris is it's alive and well, and we feel that as a Christian faith community, we are called to take care of everyone in our midst. So we in the care and compassion ministry focus on taking care of our flock, those that are with us every day, or at least every weekend. So this ministry we're trying to comply with our mission statement, which states, in part, to witness and share God's mercy and presence. So we have a lot of people involved in our care and compassion ministry at Stella Maris, and I'll talk about some of the areas in which they work.
Great.
With you.
Wonderful.
We have a care and compassion team sort of overseeing all the particular initiatives. And there are about 7 people on that team. When requests come from the parish, possibly through the office or through Father Rob or Father Jose, we look at these particular cases and we will assign them to one of the individuals on the team to look after. And so some of these things might be as simple as someone who is unwell and we just need to find out if they need anything. It could be a visit, it could be a ride to church. We've done some rides to church for people. So those are the kind of things that those members would look after. We also here at Stella Maris have a new parishioners team. So Paula Lawler heads that group, and she gets in touch with them a few weeks after we get the registration process done, just to see what they need. And as a matter of fact, over the last year, I checked the records with Paula at the office, and we had 16 new people register in 21. So 16 people, that could be individuals or it could be families. Yeah. So there's a lot happening in that regard. We had a phone tree set up. That was probably our initial venture, was the phone tree at the beginning of the pandemic. And members, we had a large group from all the parishes and the CWL members. We phoned people just to touch base with them, to make sure everything was going okay, because they had lost contact with the Sunday liturgy. So that was, it's not as active as it was, but there are still people that are contacting some of those original people, and on an ongoing basis.
That's great.
We had the ministry to residents in the long-term care you're aware of. It's there are 6 or 7 people on the new team, and they are in the process now. It's on hold right now because of the COVID situation, but they're ready to go. And even though those people in the long-term care wouldn't be parishioners as such, they're living in our parish, so they certainly will be. That team will be looking after them, and especially with regard to bringing them the Eucharist.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Isaac. A couple of times over the early fall, when there was a bit of a lull in the COVID situation, and we were able to get in there. It was a pleasure for me to actually offer the Mass in a couple of these homes, right. And it's really, really appreciated. So this ministry of presence in our seniors' home is hugely important for people who are at that stage in life.
Absolutely. We also have the funeral follow-up team. Now this is with the funeral follow-up team, you're probably not even aware of it, because it's just something we've started, a ministry. One of the members of our Care and Compassion team has agreed to contact the families of the bereaved about 3 months after the funeral or the service at our church, and just to touch base, let them know that we are thinking and praying about them or with them. So that's something that we've just started.
It's beautiful, and I didn't know about it. I'm delighted to hear about it, and I'm also delighted to say I didn't know about it, but I'm learning about it as the parish is learning about it, because as you've heard me say before, I don't want this new project of Stella Maris to depend only and solely on Rob Elford. I've said so many times, I just want to be a bottle opener and to participate and watch the beauty that's God's bringing about in our community, rather than everything being dependent on me. So this is beautiful stuff.
This is great. Yes. We're excited about that. Rick McIntyre is the individual that's going to lead it, and I'm really excited about this. And we might even go back a few months and look at some of the families. So we'll work on that.
That's great.
In church hospitality team now, the hospitality team at Stella Maris is probably falls under liturgy, maybe, but I think of it as a very important part of our Care and Compassion ministry here at Stella Maris, because there are over the especially during COVID, when we were restricted in numbers, the hospitality team certainly played a huge role in keeping in touch with people that did come to church. But they, even before COVID, they were often the first people that parishioners would see when they came to our church. They were sometimes the only contact they would have, personal contact with the church on the weekends, and they would often talk. There would be those that came early. There was an opportunity to talk, listen to them, and just share stories. So it was beautiful. It's a beautiful ministry, and it certainly is involves care and compassion. One example of that, there was a lady that when Jackie and I were often there on Sunday morning, there was a lady that would come early. She would come early, and she would come to pray, but also just to talk to us and share her week with us and ask us about ours. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing. It's a really important part of the care and compassion, the hospitality team. And then besides all those ones that I mentioned, there are also many, many individuals in our parish who are definitely carrying out the work of care and compassion in our parish. They are looking out for their neighbors, for their friends, for people that they bring to church, that they might drive to church, or they bring over a pie, or they give them a call regularly. There's all kinds of members. They may not be listed on any form or any sheet in our parish, but they are out there. I know they are. So that's a really important part of the care and compassion team, because we all have a responsibility in this regard.
And I think that shows the beauty and the maturity of a community of faith anyway, that we just simply take care of one another. We don't take care of one another simply because we're on a team that's dedicated and organizing this, as lovely and as important as that is. It just becomes part of the community fabric that, of course, we care for one another.
That's correct, and I think that's an important part of it. There are a lot of people that are engaged in that.
Yeah.
And just as a few final thoughts about, maybe there's some questions that you have. I just have a couple of things that I want to say at the end there, but
go for it.
Okay, I just want to say that we can always use more people on our formal list of care and compassion team members. But so anyone that's interested in joining us on any one of those initiatives, please contact me or the office, or Father Rob or Father Jose. And if you know of anyone out there who is in need of something from our parish in what we've been talking about, please contact us and let us know, because it's important that we know about these people. I think of an example recently, and many of you would know Anita Wenzel, whose funeral we celebrated just recently. But she was sick since the fall sometime, her husband told me. And no one at the parish that I know of knew about it. And so we missed out on telling Anita that we were there for her. Mm-hmm. So that really disheartened and troubled me when I found that out when I was talking to her husband at the funeral. So those are the kind of things that we want to avoid. So if you know of anyone out there, please let us know. If anyone has specific skills, like this was, I was thinking about it as I was putting this together. There are lots of seniors, especially those that we're most concerned about, who the use of an iPad is a challenge for them. And something like that, if there are people out there that could share those kinds of skills and talents with people that are isolated, alone, or unable to come out to church, these are the kind of things, or even reading aloud. There's some people that like to read and wouldn't mind reading aloud, but what a great ministry that would be, reading to people that are confined to their homes. Anything like that, books, sharing ideas about books, even people that like to knit. Why not knit with a person that's homebound? So if you're interested, those might be ways in which you can join our team, or you might have some new ideas of how we might include other people, those people that are not able to join us on a regular basis.
Thank you, Isaac. This has been eye-openingly beautiful for me to hear that there's so much to the Care and Compassion team. And I know from first-hand experience, I met a couple of people in the past few months who were quite lonely and isolated, and all I did was get them on. I met with them. I got them on your radar, and you engaged a process where they had a companion to come alongside them to journey with them.
Yes.
So it's hugely important.
There's one thing that I forgot to mention.
Go for it.
I think I will, is when we were talking about those in senior homes and stuff, Alan started the cards to seniors, cards to, I guess he calls it cards to seniors, which is starting to take off. That's the kind of thing that we can do, and you can do it from your home. So I know it's just getting off the ground as well, but that's another thing.
Good stuff. Beautiful. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for sticking with it. And perhaps, Isaac, we haven't spoken about this, but maybe, given the relatively large bit of geography that we have here, if there is someone out in Sambro, Ketch Harbor area who's interested in being a point of contact out there, or maybe someone in Herring Cove or in the Armdale area that's not accustomed, don't know the people around here in our organization, just get in touch with the office or you or me, and just let us know that you're interested in doing this type of work, even in your own neighborhood.
That's great.
Yeah, great.
Thank you very much, Father.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for your beautiful work and your presence in our parish. Isaac, one last thing before you go. Is that a toupee?
It is now. It's my real, honest to goodness hair. You know what we call when we're having tea in Cape Breton? We would have a Stewbuck. A Stewbuck is just an afternoon cup of tea or something like that.
Oh, okay. Is it Gaelic? It is a Stewbuck. Okay.
Stewbuck.
Okay, very good.
I think there's a P in it. So there you go. So I missed out on that. Stewbuck.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that conversation, and I wish you all a beautiful week. God bless you. I look forward to chatting soon. Take care.